listening to Fountain of Thought with your hosts, Dennis Fountain and Sunny Rain. One small step for man, one giant leap for America.
This show contains adult themes and language. Listener discretion is advised.
TGIF, thank God it's Fountain of Thought. Welcome, everyone, to the Fountain of Thought podcast, broadcasting from the Erickson Memorial Studios. This is the podcast where we talk about anything and everything. Leave us a voicemail on our listener line at 413-612-8037. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at TalkFOT, or visit our website at fountainofthought.com. Sunny Rain Man, how are you?
Here's a word for you, flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
Yes, flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
You know, I think I've heard everything, I've seen everything, and we've talked about this before. Something always comes along, but this one had to take the cake. The other night, I couldn't sleep, so I went down. I've been taking your advice. I've been watching the news channels rather than repeats of stupid television shows. And I catch this news show on Fox. And the subject matter is, we have a new mental disease. Donald Trump anxiety disorder.
Yep.
Are you what the fucking kidding me?
Yes. You watching Tucker Carlson, were you?
I don't know. I mean, he goes... no, Water's World. Is
Water's
that Tucker?
World?
Yeah, Water's. Yeah. There was an actual psychologist on the show, and it was taking everything for this poor man not to start laughing. Mm-hmm. And she could pick up on it. She's like, you know, this is serious. This is nothing to be joking or laughing about. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm not. He says, it's just, you know, kind of weird to say. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, how does this work? Hi, this is Frank. I can't come into work today. I've got Donald Trump anxiety disorder. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Do you know the rest of the world's got to be laughing at us?
When Hillary lost, look at all the people that cried. They cried. Listen, I can't tell you how many years my candidates have always lost. And I never cried. And I follow politics. To me, that's my Super Bowl. I love any election day. I love. But I never cried over it. When politics consumes that much of your daily life, you have a problem.
And it's time to get out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when George W. Bush got in, I didn't vote for him and I didn't like him. But he won. So guess what? Deal with it.
Yeah, well, they can't deal with it. That's the problem.
This is anybody. If anybody out there is listening who even remotely has this thought in their head that you have Donald Trump anxiety disorder, do me a favor. Go to your local institution, sign yourself in, and have them brain scan you, because this is ridiculous, people, okay? You're being completely ridiculous, okay?
They're being babies, is what they're doing.
I don't know what they're being, but
they're being babies. Listen, they were primed by the media for years that this was Hillary's Clinton turn, that she was going to break the glass ceiling, this is going to be the first female president. They were all primed, and they were told over and over again by every media outlet out there, except possibly Fox and maybe One America News. They were told that Hillary is going to win. All the polls showed a landslide. And it was funny, Wednesday was the 1 year, Tuesday was the 1 year anniversary of the election. And they were showing clips of during election day last year, everyone was saying, this is it. Hillary's going to win in a landslide. She's got all the polls. She's in favor. She's going to win. And then she lost. And your own candidate couldn't even make – that was the first time the own candidate can't come out and make a concession speech because she's so distraught over it. She has to lock herself in a hotel room and apparently throw things and break things because she was so pissed over it. But this is what I'm saying. They had built this up for years that she was going to win. And the Democrats were so enthralled in this and believed all of this garbage that she was going to win. And when she lost, they couldn't handle it. They just could not handle it. So that number one. Number two, like I said before, is, listen, I love politics, like I said. And even as much as I love politics, that's not part of my, well, it is part of my everyday life, I guess, because I do follow it. But it's not a majority. You know, I can go on vacation and not worry about it.
It's not life
consuming. You know, exactly. I don't cry if Donald Trump wins.
It's entertainment.
Yeah. That's exactly, for me, that's what it is. It's entertainment.
Come on. What's next?
That's been around for a while, though. It's since the election it started.
Well, you know me. I was party boy all the time, and I didn't give a shit. And I was watching movies, and I wasn't paying attention to things. Yeah. And I'm 10 days sober, by the way, people. I quit drinking, and clarity is coming to me. And rather than waste my time, I took your advice, and I'm watching this news, and I'm going, "Holy shit, we fucked up as a country."
Oh yeah.
I mean, these other world leaders must be going, "Oh hi." They're a bunch of fucking idiots. I mean, we're a joke.
Yeah.
If our founding fathers could come back from the dead and see what we are today, they'd all put guns and muskets in their mouth and blow their heads off and go back to England and be buried. That's all I have to say about that. But come on, people. Yeah. Wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
We used to be the strongest country in the world. Now we're the most embarrassing.
It's all this political correctness. It's killing us. It's absolutely killing us. All right, let's talk some football. All right, so last week I had 10 wins, you had 9, so that brings our total to Dennis with 82, Sonny with 85, so you're still in the lead by
Could I have some
points.
applause, please?
You could have some applause.
Thank you, everybody. Being the NFL guru is a very, very, very tough job.
I beat you last week.
I let you win occasionally.
In fact, I beat you most weeks. It's just that you had a really good the last 2 weeks. You had really good weeks.
I'm biased. You know me. There's certain teams I choke on having to pick them. But I'm smartening up.
Okay.
Beating you is more important.
It's true.
Better to beat you than beat myself.
That's true.
Actually, we're recording this show today. It's Thursday, and football doesn't start till tonight. The reason for it is Dennis has to fly to Florida tomorrow to attend a wedding. So we had to do the show 24 hours earlier. So we're going to predict it before it happens. Fair enough?
We're going to predict it before it happens. I love it.
All right. This is the first time on a Thursday game.
Last night's game, the Seattle and the Cardinals, and I picked the Seattle, and they won.
Last night's game tomorrow.
Yeah.
I also chose the Birds.
Oh, right. Which ones?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those are 2 birds. I picked the Cardinals. The one bird.
You picked the Cardinals.
The one.
Oh, so I won, you lost.
The one bird that the Patriots yet to beat. They beat all the rest of
all the other flock,
all the other fowl in the NFL. Okay, moving along. Good rivalry. Green Bay is going up to Soldier Field to meet the Bears.
Chicago.
I took the Green Bay Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go over to Lucas Oil Field to face the Indianapolis Colts.
Nah, I took the Steelers.
Yeah, that's a gimme. I took Pittsburgh as well. The Saints go marching into Buffalo.
There are several games this week I think are toss-ups. This is one of them. I went with Buffalo.
I took the Saints.
Okay.
My ancestors, the Vikings, are going into Washington to face the Redskins.
Here is the other one, another tough one, and I went with Washington.
Oh, you're a nut. I took the Vikings.
Okay. We'll see.
America's favorite team, the Cleveland Browns.
Who? Cleveland has a football team?
They do have a football team. I was surprised. Yeah, me too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They haven't won a game. I don't know why. I can't even remember. I think it was they must. The last game they won was the old team that moved out of town.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad? They fired Bill Belichick.
Yeah. I went with the Detroit Lions. Detroit's looking really good, and for the first time, I think Thanksgiving, I'll actually look forward to watching the football game. You know, because
Detroit does.
Yeah, every Thanksgiving, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But
and like you, of course, I'm a New England Patriots fan, but my number one team is always going to be the Pats. But Detroit has always been a second best.
Yeah,
because they've just never done it.
Yeah,
and
they've never done.
You know, if the Patriots are going to blow a season, I'd love to see these guys do it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to face the Patriots. That would be a sad thing. Okay, Chargers heading over to see the Jaguars.
Took the Jaguars.
Me as well. The Jets are going to go see Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who'd you choose?
I took the Jets.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I took the Jets.
No, sir. You took the Jets?
Well, Tampa Bay sucks.
Wow. So you really are trying to beat me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals going to see the Titans in Tennessee.
Yeah, I took Tennessee.
I took Tennessee as well. Houston Texans. They're going to go over and play with the Rams over in Los Angeles.
Two horny teams. I went with the Rams.
I went with the Rams. Two horny teams. I like that. Yeah, Rams for me too. Dallas Cowboys going over to Atlanta to face the Falcons.
I took Dallas.
I took Dallas as well. New York Giants going in to see San Francisco.
All right. Did you take two New York teams? Because I took New York.
No, I just got an itching in my
San
groin
Fran?
that San Fran, if they start Garoppolo, that's the only thing that I think they may have a chance.
Okay.
Giants are playing terrible football.
Okay.
Well, Patriots are going to go back to Denver. And I'd like to ask a question about that. Why is it we're the world champions? I don't care if we're world champions or not. We always go to Denver.
Always, yeah.
It usually rotates back and forth. But when's the last time Denver's been to Gillette Stadium?
I don't remember.
I can't
off the top of
remember.
my head. No.
And I hate going to Denver because the air's thin and it affects things. But regardless, I went with the Patriots.
It reflects the inflation of the balls, you know.
Oh, but Tom will get Brady. Tom Brady will get blamed for that. That's a gimme. What'd you go with? New England?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I took New England. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I will never not pick New England. It's always New England.
You're bringing a tear to my eye. This is coming from a man who rooted for Green Bay against the Patriots in Super Bowl 31.
I know.
Because he had a crush on Brett Favre.
Brett Favre. Brett Favre. Favre. F-A-V-R-E. Favre.
Was it just me or was he not funny in...
Something About Mary?
Yeah.
He was a riot.
Oh, my God. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
Okay, and Monday night's game, the Miami Dolphins are going to take a swim a little bit up the coast to see the Carolina Panthers.
I took the Panthers.
I did as well.
Really?
Cats love...
Cats love water?
I was going to say they like fish, but I suppose they'll eat a dolphin, too.
Yeah, they'll eat a dolphin, too. Yeah.
There you have it, folks. Those are our picks. Off this week are the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Oakland Raiders, and the Eagles are all sitting on their asses contemplating the Super Bowl.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 separate games this week.
It's going to be an
Somebody's going down.
Someone is going down.
Somebody's going down. Wow.
Welcome to the Fountain of Thought segment, where your all-omnipotent host, Dennis Fountain, ponders life events.
Could you play that again, please?
Oh, absolutely. I know how much you love yourself.
It just...
Welcome to the Fountain of Thought segment, where your all-omnipotent host, Dennis Fountain, ponders life events.
I need to have her read me some bedtime stories.
You know what? All kidding aside, she's got that kind of voice.
Yes.
She could put me to sleep. In person, she could keep me awake, too. And she looks as good as she sounds. Okay, I got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Number one, it's a tech question. And again, these aren't trick questions.
They're not trick questions.
It's just questions. It's something that I'm interested in, and maybe there's other listeners out there are, too. Are some phone chargers faster than others, and if so, why?
Yes, because of the amps.
The amps? That's what causes the problem?
More amps charges faster.
Yeah, because I bought the original charger I had for this. I could plug it in 2 hours. It was charged up. I left it at a doctor's office. So I went down to Walmart and I bought a cheap charger. I can leave it on for 12 hours and I'll only get up to like 86%.
Yes.
It takes forever.
Yeah, you need the higher amps.
Okay, so that's
Quick
the
charger. Yeah.
The answer, folks, is higher the amp on the charger, the faster your phone will charge.
Yes.
Okay, and your second question. Have you ever been wrong, or you always find a way around it?
Oh, I've been wrong a lot. I joke about it, and it's a running gag, but oh no. Trust me.
Should we bring your wife? Should we bring your wife on the show and ask her?
No, she'll tell you the same thing. I've been wrong a lot. I don't. It's not that I don't like to admit that I'm wrong. It's just that it very seldom happens. So.
Oh my God. I'm taking collections for boots for me, please. I'm running low on cash.
Knee deep in it?
The shit's getting so deep that I'm really going to need some boots soon, folks. So please send your pledges in. Okay, Dennis, take us on to our main topic, because I know this is going to involve you blowing your stack.
I want to talk about what is wrong with people today. And what I mean is there's just All right, this was all prompted from the massacre that happened in Texas. Okay, 26 dead, 20 injured in a church. When I watched the World Trade Center collapse, honest to God, I kid you not, I actually dropped to my knees, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And it hurt and it bothered me, but I didn't cry for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because it was in a church, I don't know, but when I was watching the news and I saw what happened, I started to cry. And it bothered me immensely. And again, I'm not sure what it was. Was it because there were babies that were killed? Or I know everyone's heard of this, so I'm not going to go into all the gruesome details, but 26 people just killed in church.
Worshiping the Lord. And that's what that's what affected not only you, it affected me and everybody else. To think that you go off on a Sunday with the intentions to honor your God, and you're sitting in church with your family, and some nut job walks in with a gun and starts killing you, your kids. That's unfathomable. That is unbelievable. That I can't even find a word for it.
I think because, we talk a lot on this show about why we like sci-fi and superhero things, and I think the bottom line, at least for me, and I'm pretty sure for you too, is that because it's always good over evil. It's science fiction and superhero movies have always been good over evil, and when you would think that a church would be the safest place you could possibly. Where could you go to be safer than in church?
You would think.
I mean, you would think that would be the safest place.
Yeah,
and it's not. And now they're worried about that they want churches to have guards, armed guards, because if you think about it, you're bottlenecked in a church. You come in from they say the front, but to me it's the back because the altar's facing forward, all the pews are facing forward. You come in, you're all bottlenecked in there, and you're just sitting ducks, and that's what happened.
I mean, what's the next step? As you come into Mass, you're gonna whether there's holy water, you do the holy water thing, pick up your news bulletin, your Mass prayer book, and your bulletproof
vest. Yeah,
I mean, it's sick. It's just sick.
So that really bothered me, and it got me to thinking, what's wrong with people today? And I know that mental illness is a huge factor in this. He escaped from a mental institution in 2012, and he was still on the streets. He was discharged from the Air Force. He was court-martialed twice.
How the hell do you get court-martialed twice?
Because 2 counts, I guess. So twice.
2 counts of the court-martial.
He beat his wife, domestic violence. He split his son's skull open. He allegedly beat a dog to death or something of that.
And yet
matter.
This man's walking around.
And yet he's still walking around. And I know there were mistakes that happened, and I don't want to. The Air Force didn't do what they were supposed to do, because if the Air Force had submitted what had happened, he would have never got a gun. And maybe, just maybe, this might not have happened. And why I say maybe is because, again, everyone's on the guns thing, the gun thing.
First of all, let me make a point. If you want to get a gun, you're going to get a gun.
Right.
It's bullshit of thinking
if you
outlawed it, and if you take them out of the stores and all, it doesn't matter. Right. You want a gun,
especially
you will find
in Texas. If you want a gun, you're going to get a gun.
Well, yeah, because everybody's packing.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then why can't we just stop and realize what's going on? Because it's not the gun that killed the people, it's the person behind the gun. And you don't need a gun. Look at in New York City last week, maybe 2 weeks ago now. You just take a truck and you plow through people. So what are we going to do, ban trucks? This is what I'm saying.
Or how about the screwball that took how many firearms into a hotel and nobody bothered to check the luggage?
And we still, that one I kind of understand, because your luggage is your private. That's your, although he was, I think, 14 bags of it. He'd make several trips, and the bus boys or wherever were helping him. And I don't know, you would think maybe the guy's having a big party in his suite or something. But again, there's something else. We still don't know what happened there. And this is over a month, and we don't know what happened. We have no inclination of what happened. We don't know if the guy went off the rails and went bonkers, if he has ties to something, if he owed a debt. We have no idea what's going on, and we have conflicting stories. I don't want to get into all, but I want to focus on the people. So this guy is nuts. He's crazy. He's a crazy person, and he belongs in an institution. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to be serious.
That's factual.
He belongs in an institution because he has serious, serious issues. And a lot of these crimes, you'll find that most crimes are committed for two reasons. One, because they're just insane. They're nuts. They're crazy. Or it's drug-related. And that's the highest of crimes. But this guy... here's another. I know I'm drifting in and out, and I apologize to the listeners because this is really bothering me. There's just so much that I wanted to say, so I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. But I was watching the news, and this really irked me. A newscaster, it was a girl reporter, and she was reporting on the deaths, and the death toll is 26. And she goes, "But it's really 25." And I'm like, "Oh, did somebody live?" And then she qualifies it.
By saying somebody was shot outside?
No, because the baby that died was still in the womb. So she wasn't counting it.
Semantics.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay, because in Texas, that baby is considered alive from fertilization. So once the egg is fertilized, that is a baby. And it got me to thinking. And again, we could talk a whole other topic on this, but if a couple gets pregnant, usually 2 or so months into it, they realize it. That's a baby. They tell everyone we're having a baby. We're having a baby. They buy for the baby. It's a baby. It's not a fetus. It's a baby. For this reporter to disregard it that way, and I don't know if that was her doing it or if it was somebody in the corporate level, speaking into her ear saying, well, it's a fetus. We don't want to call it a baby. No, it's a baby. I'm sorry. It's a baby. This is what's wrong with people.
Well, first of all, I'm not defending that, but that argument's going on ever since... Roe versus
Wade.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to continue. There's always going to be those two sides over that. But but as far as a reporter goes, that's pretty piss poor to address it that way.
I'm like, go tell the parents, go tell the mother that and it's political correctness all over the place. But I just don't understand what's wrong with people today. And I'm going to go back to things I've said over and over again. Remember, we had a question. Somebody sent us a question. What is the root of all evil?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. I'm thinking most of this, we're going to get letters, you wait. Most of this could be taken care of by proper family values. Have a good upbringing with a good family, and I think you should have 2 parents. But if you don't, okay, you don't. You get by with what you get by. You can still do it as long as you instill family values. You talk to your kids, you raise them properly. I think this would eliminate a lot of the stuff that's going on, including the political correctness.
Structure.
I really do. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but there's also another big point. I brought this up many times, okay? Television today, we said this before, there's more television shows on today than you could possibly watch in 3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
But the one thing a lot of them have in common is no value on life.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And they can't get gross enough. They can't get horrific enough.
Yeah,
I mean, when you sit there...
That's just like Negan in the baseball bat.
I was just going to say that. When you're going to sit there and show somebody getting whacked in the head, their eyeball popping out, and kids who are growing up, and while you're growing up, you're absorbing not only knowledge, but you're absorbing feelings. When you're out with your mommy...
Or video games.
Well, we'll get to that after. But you're out with your mommy and you see, oh, look at the nice kitty, pat the nice kitty. That's reinforcement to feeling. Yeah. Okay? Kids are desensitized today. They grow up having no value for life. They play these awful video games.
They have no social skills.
They watch these awful television shows.
They don't go out and play.
The ABC, NBC, and most of your major networks, they do get these bad shows, but they usually show them at 10 o'clock at night, which, okay, that's fine because, again, going back to family structure, you expect that parents are going to have their kids.
Your kids are going to be in bed.
Yeah, and it's not going to be an audience that shouldn't be watching it. But what difference does it make? Because as soon as it goes into reruns and it gets sold off to places like USA and FX and stuff, they show these marathons. Law and Order Special Victims Unit, that's not a kid's show.
Right.
The subject matter and the things they talk about, and they'll start it at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and they run it all day long.
This is a problem is because the major networks, ABC, the alphabet networks, they are stuck to a different standard because
they're
of the
governed
FCC,
by the FCC.
Because they're free over the airwaves. They're free. So they're structured differently, which is why they always try to push the envelope so they can compete with AMC and USA and all of those other things, which have very less restrictions. And then pay services have even less. They have no restrictions, basically. Well, they're still, as far as the X-rated things, there's still some things.
Pay TV goes back to even when we were children, and that I understand. Okay, if you subscribe to HBO, remember back in the day, they would even give you keys to your box so you could lock it.
Yeah, that's a law. I forgot about those. Yeah.
So your children couldn't watch it if you didn't want them. And I suppose they have codes now if parents would pay attention that you can program
any
the remote.
TV you can do that.
You can so you can do this if you take the time to bother to say, you know what, this isn't appropriate. You know, maybe everybody's watching The Walking Dead, but my kid is only 8 years old, very impressionable. Right. He's already showing signs of aggression. He's got these kind of problems. He's gone counseling. Maybe he's taking Ritalin or he's going to see a psychologist. Well, if any of those things are happening, there's obviously a problem. And if there's a problem, don't add lighter fluid to the fire. Yeah. Do something about it. Start changing the environment. Change the way you approach the kid. Show them more love. Do you know how many years we made fun of the hippies in the 60s and 70s? Oh, they're so funny. Peace, love, and blah, blah, blah. I would trade everything that's going on today to have those days back where people were just peace, love, and hugs and kisses. And you know what? Everybody just get along. Yeah. Because you know what? They had the right idea.
I want to touch on the television thing. I'm not for censorship, folks. Don't think that I am.
And neither am I.
I think you should put whatever you out there artistically. If you want to create it, I think you should be able to show it, read it, listen to it, whatever. But there's a difference between children and adults, and you need to do your job as a parent. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, and I get this all the time, especially when I was in the movie theater. You know, kids wanting to go see R-rated movies. I'm sorry, you can't. But he watches it anyway. If he doesn't watch it here, he's going to watch it somewhere. Well, you know what? Oh, well. Then if they watch it somewhere else, that's not your problem. You've done your job, and your kids will know.
If you want your kids so bad to see this movie, then you keep your ass here and you go with
you
them.
Watch it with them.
Then it's your responsibility, and I'm off the hook.
And I can't tell you how many parents have gone in and come out and say, oh, my God, I was so embarrassed. And I've been in have you ever been in, and I've done this, I've been in a movie theater watching a movie, and there's kids next to me, and a scene comes on, and I want to leave. I'm embarrassed for them. And I go, what kind of parent does this? I don't understand.
Well, I'm not going to crucify all parents because even in my childhood, my mother did. I begged her to take me to see The Exorcist. I begged her to take me to see The Omen. She would explain to me, what was wrong with it. I shouldn't see it, but I was thick-headed. So she did it for two reasons. One, to teach me a lesson, and especially with The Exorcist because how
old are you when you saw The Exorcist?
10 years old.
Ooh, I don't know if I would have done that.
9 or 10 years old. She took me to see that. I couldn't watch that motion picture for 40 years after that. It scared the living hell out of me. I couldn't sleep worth the shit for 2 weeks. Okay. Now, was that the right and proper thing for my mother to do? Probably not. You know, in today's standards, no. But I was a thick-headed little kid that just wanted to get my own way. And that, in her particular opinion at that time, she thought she was teaching me a lesson. Parents are going to make mistakes. It's making continued mistakes.
But even still, I mean, let's just take The Exorcist for 1 second. It's scary. It's vulgar. But again, it's still showing you right and wrong. A lot of these movies that come out, there is no right or wrong. It's just gratuitous, and there is no reason behind it. I'm way off topic here.
Okay, but just last point on this thing. You said, we both said we're not, we're not
censor. I don't want to censor.
We don't want to censor anything, but I do stick to my guns. I don't care what network you are, you got to use a little bit of judgment. You can't just leave it all in the parents of taking shows that are inappropriate and starting marathons at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. If it's adult subject matter and you want to do a marathon, then start it at adult hours and run it through the night or whatever, or come up with some other formula. That to me, that's a cop out. It's a cop out. I'm sorry, it's nothing you're going to say. That's just saying now we don't have to monitor the station. Nobody has to be here. We'll just put this card in and it can just play episode after episode after episode after episode, and whoop-de-doo. No, I don't agree with that.
I don't have a problem with it because I think the parents should do their job and either A, not let their child watch it, or B, put some security, for lack of a better word, on it where you can watch it. And on my television, I had that where you couldn't watch anything that was R-rated or above unless you entered a password.
I know we just said that, but my point is there's still got to be a little bit of responsibility factor on networks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
gonna disagree, and we'll agree to disagree.
No, we won't.
We won't agree to disagree.
I'll take you outside later.
Okay.
Kick your ass.
I had MTV blocked at my house. Kids couldn't watch MTV. That network was blocked. Just period. So
well, that's a little extreme.
No. Have you seen the videos? It's not like our day.
I thought you said when you were a kid.
No. We didn't have MTV.
Oh,
when I was a
no.
kid.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. My kids weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up because of Bart. And it wasn't that it was that he was disrespectful to his parents all the time.
And they were glorifying him being a little smart.
Yeah, and so I didn't let them watch it. When they were little, because they got older, things changed. But so, all right. Anyways, what I'm getting at is just every day it just seems to be worse and worse and worse. And you and I have talked about, Star Trek, how the future is supposed to be this utopia where we've settled our differences. We're all one planet. We get along. There's no need for money. And
they call it Fantasyland.
Yeah, all of these things that go on. And I don't think we're going to reach that because right now we're taking a step backwards. We're going in the wrong direction. Again, I think there needs to be better parenting out there. I don't know. There's so many things that are wrong.
Whether you're religious or not, I'm sorry to say, Satan's winning.
I just don't know. I don't have the answers, and I'm not, saying that I have the answers. But I would think that the biggest thing would be, our children to be raised differently than what they are now. To stop the cell phones. Oh God, they're so nice and they're so convenient. But that's a horrible. Cell phones are horrible. They're horrible. They take away, communication. People, all these kids, they text. They don't call anybody. They text, and they say whatever they want in a text. There's no repercussions.
They'll sit in the same room across from each other and just sit there and text to each other.
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's no social interaction. They don't know how to behave right. They don't know. So they're going to go wacko. The guy who shut up the movie theater a couple years ago. I mean, the same thing. There's no social interaction. They don't have the skills that they need.
Yeah, but we're getting carried away because that's not entirely true. There are some out there that do have some manners, and it surprises me every day.
I
see kids
not enough, though.
I know that, but I'm saying we're grouping everybody as a whole. But, I see kids holding doors for old ladies and things like that. So there are parents out there that are doing their job.
But here's why. When you see that happen, you go, oh, wow, that's nice. But you shouldn't. What I'm getting
expected.
It's exactly it.
Right.
You should do that. That's something you should do. You shouldn't oh, wow. And I got to tell you, my kids and my family, they all hate me for this. But I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a restaurant and kids have behaved or they've done something and the parents have done the right thing. And maybe it's not my place, but I'll go up and say, you know what? As a parent, I just want to tell you that I'm with you. You did a great job, and I thank you for bringing up some good kids.
Oh, they must love you being so condescending.
Oh, they hate. I'm not condescending. That's not condescending.
That sounds condescending.
No, it's not. I'm telling them they've done a great job.
Oh, God.
Here's how Fountain of Thought is going to fix it. First of all, raise your children properly. Second of all, we need to have more institutionalizationism. Is that a word?
Institutionalization.
Yeah. Because
we need more nut houses.
Well, yeah, and there are so many people out there that have issues and they're not being treated properly. They're just given drugs and sent out the door. There's no place to be safe anymore, and that worries me. That really worries me.
Well, with that, let's go to a happy place.
All right, we'll be right back after I test my theory of molecular inclusion on quantum particles.
As internet technology advances, so does the threat of cybercrime. And the instant you go online, you become vulnerable to dangers such as identity theft, computer viruses, phishing, spyware, and more. In times like these, we must all protect ourselves from cybercrime. Antivirus software, firewalls, and security patches are just the beginning. Never open suspicious emails. Only navigate to trusted sites and change your passwords every 90 days. Back up important files to external storage devices. Tell anyone who uses your computer to be vigilant when downloading from the internet. Keep your kids safe on the internet. Teach them never to give out personal information or post information about their school or extracurricular activities. Installing parental control software and monitoring their computer are all good ways to prevent cybercrime. To learn more about cybercrime, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Wit and charm DJs Dennis and Sonny have. FountainofThought.com, website you go. Episodes new every Friday at 7.
Welcome back, everyone. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor or advertising on our show, please drop us an email at talkfot@gmail.com.
So how did that Big Mac preparation go?
It went well until I had to add the special sauce.
I don't want to hear about the special sauce.
Okay.
Interested in your very own shout-out? Let us know at facebook.com/Fountain of Thought, on Twitter at TalkFOT, or email us at talkfot@gmail.com. And you could be rewarded for listening.
Today, I'd like to send a happy birthday shout-out to Melody Mettig of Ware, Massachusetts. Wonderful woman, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
The moment you've been waiting for is finally here. Yes, true or false headlines.
All right, folks, True or False Headlines is being sponsored by the Ludlow Lions Club. Do you want to help those in need in your neighborhood? Volunteer to help today by visiting ludlowlions.org or by calling 754-900-ROAR. All right, so how this is going to work is I am going to read a crime-related headline. I will read two of them. One is true, one is false. You, Sonny, will tell me which one is true and which one is false. Are you ready?
Oh, you're spicing the thing up a little
Spicing
bit.
it up. Okay.
Okay.
So, two headlines. One's real, one is not. You need to tell me which one is real. 5 naked people found in crashed Beamer, or man kills dog over spam dispute.
And you want me to guess the false one?
Or the true one. It doesn't matter because there's only 2 of them, so we'll know what the other one is. But.
Okay, we'll go with the false one.
Right.
Man beats dog over spam dispute.
Man kills dog over spam dispute is the false one?
Yes.
You are correct. That is false. 5 naked people found in crashed Beamer is true.
That is so crazy it sounded true.
When authorities responded to a car accident in Alberta, Canada on Monday, they found a carload of naked people. But that's just one of several strange elements of the story out of Edmonton. Police say it began around 9:30 a.m. Monday when a woman, her 6-week-old infant, and her father were kidnapped from a Leduc County home and forced into a vehicle. The father, who was in the trunk, escaped while the vehicle was moving shortly before the woman and the infant were able to escape. Uninjured, all 3 were picked up by a Good Samaritan in a truck before the kidnapper's vehicle plowed into the back of that truck and wound up in a ditch 17 minutes after the kidnapping took place. Federal police found a man, 2 women, and 2 female youths inside the crashed white BMW, all naked. A video from the scene reportedly shows officers surrounding the vehicle before a nude man is led away. It was just 17 degrees outside at the time, which notes all 5 naked individuals were taken to a hospital. A witness tells CTV that stun guns may have been used. The youths have since been released from custody, while the adults, who police say know they're alleged victims, are being charged with kidnapping, resisting arrest. Police haven't disclosed a motive, but believe drugs and alcohol may have been involved.
And you're buying this shit?
Well, I don't understand how 5 naked people kidnap 3 other people.
Because this is a bunch of bullshit. First of all, they all knew each other. They obviously didn't have money, but they were trying to impress their friends. So they took every dime they had, and they went and bought a BMW and realized they had no money left over for clothing.
For clothes?
That's my theory.
Okay. All right, let's see if you can get this one. We got one more. So 1 headline is true, 1 headline is false. You ready?
Okay.
Man shot himself in penis while robbing a hot dog stand. Or man found dead on Walmart toilet 3 days after his death.
That's a tough one because I could believe both of them. Let me see. Which is the false one? I'm going to go with, as bizarre as it sounds, and with the history of Walmart, I think the false one is man shoots himself in the penis.
You were wrong.
No way.
Yes, man shot himself in penis while robbing a hot dog stand is a true headline. A judge has denied bond to a Chicago man who shot himself in the penis after allegedly robbing a hot dog stand. Terrian Pouncey has been charged with 2 counts of armed robbery stemming from an alleged robbery that happened Tuesday morning at Maxwell Street Express. Police say the 19-year-old suspect held a gun up to 2 employees and robbed them of their cell phones, wallets, and cash. At one point, Pouncey allegedly pressed a .38 caliber pistol to the head of a 39-year-old worker who had been passing a bucket filled with grease over the counter. The victim told his co-worker to hand over the cash from the register. When the 2 employees gave Pouncey their wallets and a stack of singles, the grease bucket tipped over and the bills went flying. Assistant Cook County State Attorneys Aaron Antonetti said in court Pouncey allegedly bent over to collect the cash and then shifted his gun in his waistband while running away from the restaurant. At that point, he apparently pulled the trigger and fired a bullet that struck his penis. The 39-year-old victim wrestled briefly with Pouncey before he staggered away from the restaurant. Pouncey called 911, so the guy shoots his penis and he calls 911 from the steps of a house across the street and reported being shot. He was taken to a nearby hospital to be treated for his injuries before being arrested. Police said surveillance cameras captured video and audio of the robbery and showed Pouncey struggling to make it across the street. Police recovered the wallets he allegedly stole, as well as a .38 caliber pistol. They said his blood-stained boxers had a particular pattern that matched underwear seen in the surveillance video when he bent over to collect the money off of the floor. Because of his injuries, Pouncey was unable to appear for a bond hearing on Thursday, so the judge ordered him held without bail pending a hearing on Tuesday. So I really guess this guy wasn't a wiener. Get it, wiener? Yeah.
And I'll bet he'll never look at a hot dog the same way again.
I'm sure he won't. All right, folks, is your pool looking like the future of the United States? A little murky? Then let No Worries For You Professional Pool Service handle all your pool needs. Serving Orange, Osceola, and Polk counties, clear your mind by clearing your pool. Give them a call today at 407-953-7926.
And if you shot yourself in the penis, stay out of my pool.
Yeah, stay out of the pool that requires extra cleaning. All right, so how this works is Sonny and I will volley sound clips back and forth, and we try to stump each other. We keep a running tab of who's winning and who's losing, and at the end of the month, the loser buys the winner lunch and also a lucky listener lunch via a gift card. And at the end of the year, we'll do the same thing, but this time we'll make it for dinner. So you can register and find more details on our website at fountainofthought.com. Now, the record stands for this month. Dennis has 2, Sonny has 3. All right, who's going first?
I'll flip a coin.
Heads.
Heads it is.
All right, guess I go first. So this is Wild Card, and we have to tell each other the category, but that's it. You get 1 pass, and you get 1 clue. This is 80s sci-fi.
It's a rescue mission. You'll love it. There's some juicy colonist daughters we have to rescue from their virginity.
Play it again.
It's a rescue mission. You'll love it. There's some juicy colonist daughters we have to rescue from their virginity.
Ice Pirates.
Aliens.
That was from Aliens?
Yeah.
Why did it sound so comical?
Because they were joking around. I guess that's when they're all together. They're all strapping up and ready to go.
Oh, the Marines.
Yeah, the Marines.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh. All right, you're up.
Good stumper.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Like to take you on a strange journey. Let's see.
Science fiction comedy.
Science fiction comedy. One more time, please.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
I'm going to go with Strange Days.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here's your next one. It is a action.
Now back up, put the gun down, and give me a pack of tropical fruit Bubblicious. And some Skittles.
Bad Boys, the original.
Very good.
Action movie as well.
That's pretty fucking thin. That's very thin. What the hell? Thin's my middle name. Yeah, your wife's cooking. I'm not surprised.
Well, obviously it's Lethal Weapon, but now I got to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon 2. Oh, was it 1? Yeah. I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon 1.
Yeah, okay.
Damn it.
It was Lethal Weapon 1. Should have gone with your instinct, dude.
I know. All right, here you go. It is sci-fi.
We're friends, yeah? Hey there, open up. How are they going to understand us?
We're talking sign language.
They'll understand us all right. Sure? Sure? Everybody understands when you wave the white flag, you want to be friends?
I'm going to pass.
You're going to pass.
We'll only take a guess anyway. It wasn't Mars Attacks, was it?
War of the Worlds.
I never saw it.
1953.
Never saw it. Imagine that. I never saw War of the Worlds.
I know.
Weird.
The first one was for its time, I liked it. It was kind of cool. The remake was sucked, but this is animation.
Why did the hero flush the toilet? Say why.
Why?
Because it was his duty.
Wrecking Ralph?
I give it to you. Wreck-It Ralph, not Wrecking, but Wreck-It Ralph. So
I don't have children.
I don't care if you have children or not.
Why do you say you feel trapped in a man's body?
Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard.
Clue, please.
It's that big black guy, obviously.
I know who it is.
God bless his soul. I miss that guy. It takes place in a desert.
I didn't even what category. I didn't even get a category.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's comedy.
Comedy takes place in a desert. Play it one more time for me, please.
Why do you say you feel trapped in a man's body?
Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard.
I'm going to pass.
You know what? And then I might be at fault. I might have to I said this because I might have to give you this because I never saw the movie and I made an assumption. But this might be somebody's name and not a desert.
Even not a desert.
Raising Arizona? Was that
is a movie, but it's not about a desert.
Okay, the kid's name was Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to give it to you.
Why?
Because I can't make you pass because I gave you a bad clue.
Okay. All right. 2-1 I get this week, so you get 2, I get 1. Adding to the score, Dennis gets 1, so I now have 3. Sonny gets 2. You now have 5. Starting to take a little lead there, big guy.
It's time to dig deep. That only means one thing. It's time for questions from my side.
Questions from ISAC is being sponsored by Mr. Bill's Boot and Shoe Repair in Pantego, Texas. Tell Mr. Bill you heard this ad and receive a 20% discount on any shoe repair. Find them online at MrBills.net where they'll save your soul and
gladly die for you. And don't forget, if you don't pay your bill, you'll get a boot up your ass.
Yes, definitely, yes. All right, so how this works is you, the audience, send us your questions. It can be anything and everything, just like our podcast. Each week we will randomly select 3 questions to read on the air. And the first question is, if you were stuck in an elevator for hours, what would you do to pass the time? I would die.
Well, first of all, it depends, okay, whether I was alone or I was with other people. If I was alone, I'd panic. I'd have an anxiety attack because my brain would be just overwhelmed by the idea of being stuck. You're claustrophobic.
Alone or whatever.
Well, I know you're claustrophobic. Yep. But if I was with others... that wouldn't bother me. I could have conversation. I could fart and blame it on somebody else, burp and blame it on somebody else, tell jokes, be a general comedian, anything.
Lots of things then.
Anything just to keep my mind going and pass the time. Yeah, but alone, I would just like you. I'd freak out.
Okay. Next one is, do you eat any weird food combinations? Does that mean yes?
Yeah, you go first.
I don't know if I eat any weird food combinations. Ketchup. I put ketchup on a lot of things. I like dipping my potato chips in ketchup.
Well, that's not weird.
People say that's weird.
Nah, a lot of people do that. You know what? That's stupid because a lot of people like vinegar on their chips. Well,
they sell vinegar chips.
What's
they
your
sell
primary?
chips?
Okay, but what's your primary ingredient besides tomatoes and ketchup? Vinegar. Well, all right. How about these? Let me think of some really good ones that I like to eat, and you tell me if you'd eat it. How about seafood salad with?
I don't do seafood.
No, just leave up. Is it a must for you to interrupt?
You asked me.
I wasn't done the fucking sentence.
I don't eat seafood.
It doesn't matter. You could have waited till at least I was done the goddamn question.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you are so rude. Seafood salad with marinated artichokes. Now I know you don't eat seafood. But does that rude? How rude.
I don't eat seafood. I don't eat artichokes. So.
Okay, but is this about you or is this...
You asked me?
Shithead, is this questions from my sack from your question or is this for the audience? The audience is listening to this. They don't give a shit if you got a fucking bug up your ass about seafood.
No, you said, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a couple of things. You tell me if it's weird or not. That's what you said. I'm trying to tell you.
Weird. I said if it's weird or not. I didn't ask whether you ate it or not.
I don't know because I don't eat it.
But you never let me finish the question.
I don't care.
You are an arrogant prick.
You suck.
You blow me.
You suck.
You bubble-headed booby. Bubble-headed booby.
I don't know. Can't tell you. Doesn't sound weird to me.
Yeah, well, here's one. And you used to pick on me all the time. Meatball grinders with pickles and raw onions.
No, not weird.
Yeah, not weird anymore.
No,
but how many times
weird.
did you pick on me?
Not weird. Tastes good.
Yeah. Green pepper halves stuffed with sloppy Joe mix.
No, not weird.
Campbell's chicken noodle soup with sliced hot dogs.
No, not weird.
Canned tuna mixed with diced garlic tomatoes over angel hair pasta.
No, not weird.
Well, I guess I'm okay then.
I guess you're okay. All right. All right, and the third question is, did Adam have a belly button? I'm assuming they mean Adam and Eve, so Adam was created by God, so he should not have a belly button.
I'd have to disagree with that.
You'd have to disagree with that?
My theory is Adam was created with an apple stuck to his belly.
Yeah.
And when Eve came over and she plucked it, that created the very first belly button. Yeah.
That's how it happened?
That's my theory, okay? Believe it or not.
I'm going to go with not.
Looking for a little-known but great movie to watch this weekend? Then you're listening to the right podcast. Here's an awesome movie recommendation.
My movie recommendation this week, because I'm the only one prepared.
No, someone was busy.
You're always busy. I'm going retro style. The other night, flipping through the channels, and I caught this movie. I loved it as a kid, and I watched it again, and I said, wow, that was a good movie. The movie's called The Warriors. Anyway, folks, it's a 79 American action thriller film directed by Walter Hill and based on Sol Urich's 1965 novel of the same name. This novel was, in turn, based on a Xenophon's Anabasis. The story centers on New York City gang who must make an urban journey of 30 miles
from the north end of the Bronx.
Oh, shut the fuck up! The story centers on a New York City gang. I didn't do it. Now you got me going, you asshole. The story centers on a New York City gang who must make an urban journey of 30 miles from north end of the Bronx to their home turf in southern Brooklyn after being framed for a murder that they didn't commit. A respected gang leader, it was really... Jesus Christ. In other words, folks, you know what? This gang went to a big other gang meeting, and they got framed for doing something they shouldn't have done, and they didn't do it, but everybody else believed they did, so... They have to make it 30 miles back to where they came from. In the meantime, every gang in New York City is out to get them, okay? That makes sense. Plain English, okay? Screw Wikipedia. You're right weird. I can't read your shit, and I don't care.
Was there, shooting, any guns going off? Was there any fireworks, guns?
Everything.
So there were guns? So you could hear, bang, bang stuff?
Well, there was a... Well, yeah, there's
a gun. So it was a gangbang.
The main... Here I think he's actually asking me an intelligent question. I get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield, I completely understand where you came from.
Sonny's pet peeve
of the week.
My pet peeve of the week is my partner Dennis is an asshole. But besides that, have you ever been in this position? You're just with one other person, okay? And when I mean it's just two of you. And I'm not saying two of you in a crowd of people. Two of you. It could be in a car or just in a park somewhere, in your own living room. I don't care where you are. Just
Are we in the missionary position? Reverse cowgirl? What position are we in?
What the fuck drugs did you take today? There is something completely lopsided in your head today. You start the show off telling everybody how you might cry. Instead, you turn into a guy that needs to be put in an insane asylum.
You asked me about positions.
I wasn't done talking again.
Could you please finish?
Are we clear now what I'm talking about? 2 people alone. Living room, car. I don't care where you are, okay? But just
two people.
Just two of you alone, okay?
2 people alone. Got it.
And I don't care what the question is, but we're just going to go with a fictitious question of, I'm going to have some popcorn. Would you like some? And the person you're with looks at you and goes, who, me?
No, I've never had that happen to me.
Cut the shit.
I'm usually with more intelligent people. What stupid people have you been hanging around with?
I give up. Fuck this whole show. Fuck you. Fuck everything. I've had enough.
That's your pet peeve? Stupid people?
You know what? My pet peeve is you're an asshole. I go back to the first one. But the point is, for any of you out there who are listening, have you ever been in that position? You're only with one other person, and you ask a question, and they go, who, me? No, I'm talking to the goddamn 3 people standing behind you that snuck in the last 10 minutes. Bugs the shit out of me.
Any final thoughts, Sonny?
Donald Trump anxiety disorder? I mean, really, people?
Yep.
Really? And you know who started that?
Who?
Rosie O'Donnell. Wasn't her another that idiot Cher supposed to be on a bus to Canada a year ago?
Oh, there's a whole list of celebrities that should be gone. Yes.
Get the fuck out.
Folks, that is going to do it for this episode of Fountain of Thought podcast. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Friday at 7 o'clock, where we may go live. It could be a live podcast.
You're going to see them next podcast?
Yes.
Can't wait for you to pull that miracle off.
I can do it. Leave your opinion or thoughts on the listener line at 413-612-8037. And reminding everyone to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Fountain of Thought. Follow us on Twitter at TalkFOT, which is going downhill, by the way. This time next year, won't be any Twitter. And don't forget to visit our website at fountainofthought.com for past, future episodes and our contest. Guys, go register for our contest. And remember, everyone, be a fountain, not a drain.
Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.